I'm pretty sure the Summoner Necromancer is going to work out just fine. Okay, so I might be a little bit obsessed with the Blood Golem, but I need you all to look past that. Let's get leveling here. And to start off, I just have to say, our Summoner Necro is not gonna feel like one for a while, so we have to take some different skills until we can adjust into what we want to be. So to begin with, I went with Reap because of its wide-ranging frontal attack. And then because we need 3 skills total here to unlock the next core set of skills, we are also going to grab Acolyte Reap just for its ability to possibly spawn another corpse for us, and we need lots of those later. Reap is pretty self-explanatory here. Usually what you're going to do is you're going to have your skeletons in front of you, you're going to stand behind them, and you're just going to swing your giant scythe in front of everybody. It'll cause you to gain essence, which you're not going to have to worry about right now because we don't have anything to spend it. But don't worry, we're not about saving here. It's time to spend. Unlock Bone Spear and then get Enhanced Bone Spear. You know what, you might as well just get Supernatural Bone Spear as well. Now, right about now is when you're again going to get tempted to check out all the new skills that just opened up for you. And go for it, you can definitely try that. I personally just invested all of my points into Bone Spear. And my only thought process for that was because I knew that at level 15, when I unlocked Skeletal Mages, I was probably going to reset my skills anyways and kind of reassess what I had. And investing all these points into Bone Splinter is actually kind of a two-pronged thing. One, it's just a really good skill. Especially with both the upgrades we took, it now has the ability to shoot out at enemies, break apart into 3 pieces, and then fire back at them. And on top of that, the first enemy that you hit with each cast of Bone Spear applies Vulnerable to that enemy. Vulnerable is a status effect in this game, and in this instance means that for the next 3 seconds, they are going to take 20% more damage than usual. That's awesome. I would add that once you have upgraded Bone Spear, if you didn't get Blood Mist before this, it might be worth possibly investing 1 point into it just because there are points in this game between elites and some of the mini bosses and bosses you might need to get out of some of their control impairing effects that don't allow you to move, and you could take excess damage that way, so having the ability to move past that is really nice. The key point of importance here is it is okay to experiment. There are going to be some skills that maybe you want to test out, and I absolutely did. You're only seeing what kind of led me through and got me to level 15. But speaking of that, now that we're at 15 or close or a little after, wherever you're at, it's okay. This is when I respec. And with my respec, I will say I don't think I was necessarily stronger at first, but I liked the feel more. It was what I wanted. I started feeling like I was building a character with my minions in mind. Now, there is one core problem with the build that took me a while to figure out. We only have 6 skill slots, and I had 7 skills that I needed to make this work. And you know the one thing that would continually make this work? If you would subscribe to the channel and like this video, it helps so much. Leave me a comment down below if you're going to give this one a shot or what builds you're playing so far. Alright, let's start building that summoner. So to start off, I have now switched to Hemorrhage. And by the way, take both Advanced and the Initiates upgrades as well here. And in fairness, I actually think, now that I'm looking at it, Acolyte's upgrade for this and the other path might actually be better. My reasoning was taking the Fortify Health just for a little extra confidence that we're going to stay alive, but honestly, either one works here. The main reason you're using this skill is for the Blood Orbs. They give you a 15% boost in healing when you pick them up. Oh, and by the way, I know you're thinking about it right now. If you're wondering what the heck am I doing with the Book of the Dead, we're gonna get there. That's gonna be at the end of this section. I didn't want to jarble it all around all over the place. So quit thinking it and back to the skills. Remember that core problem I was talking about? Yeah, we're just gonna cut out a core skill. So we're taking nothing in this section skill-wise. Now, to be fair, if you find that you're having issues with this, you can still select Bone Spear for now, and then respec maybe in the early 20s if it's a little more comfortable for you. Something that I do want us to take in this area though, Hewed Flesh. One of the things you'll notice early on, and even up to 30 with where I'm at as a Necromancer, is when your minions die on bosses, lots of the time there are not minions running around to kill to create corpses to spawn new minions. This is a problem for those of us watching this video. So the fact that the passive effect on this item is doubled for bosses is just another great way for us to spawn more corpses when we need them. Oh yeah, and we're gonna need them because we're getting Corpse Explosion, and we're especially getting Blighted Corpse Explosion to just spawn those beautiful miasma pools of death. From here I put 2 points into Skeleton Mastery, pretty self-explanatory. We're a minion build, we want our minions strong. Speaking of strong, the enemies in this game are strong. Take Decrepify, I think this is one of the most underrated skills for Necromancer. Not only does it slow enemies, but it also decreases how much damage they can do to both us and our minions. While we're here, we might as well grab Abhorrent Decrepify for the possibility of reducing our cooldowns. Oh, and then there's that little passive skill there that increases our skeletal mages, just like with Skeleton Mastery. You know what you're doing, take it. For our nuke spell, if you would, we're gonna take Bone Spirit. The more essence you have, the more damage this skill does. And with the second upgrade in the tree for this skill, if we crit, its cooldown is reduced by 6 seconds, which is then why the next upgrade we take for it helps increase its critical hit chance. At this point, you're going to probably have a couple of levels that you need to upgrade before you're able to unlock the next part of the skill tree. So feel free to round out some of the areas that you think you're missing with some of the skills that we've already taken, whether that is buffing your minions or your attacks, or maybe even taking a couple of other skills that are more defensive, or just playing around with other stuff. It's the beauty of this game. Actually, you can kind of do that with the rest of the skill tree at this point, which is exactly what you're seeing me do on screen here. I'm just grabbing a couple of these passive skills that are going to help both my minions offensively and defensively. And then finally, we're gonna grab that Kalen's Edict, I believe is how you pronounce it. Now, I don't have this yet, and I mean, come on. I know it says 15% increase attack speed for our minions, but we always have more than 7 minions, so it's gonna be a 30% increase in attack speed. This is the minion option, you take this. Oh, and I almost forgot this. To help get you to this, absolutely take Golem Mastery, all 3 levels. Each level is a 25% increase in life and damage. Huge. Book of the Dead time. Early in the game, I was using the ability to give me 1 extra skeleton warrior. It just came in handy as I was learning which skills I wanted to use and such, which is basically signal for the extra skeleton kept me alive until I unlocked Bone Spear. But there really is a lot of different options here to just experiment. I did end up falling towards the Reapers at the end because they do give me the option to spawn an extra corpse. As far as skeletal mages go, it's just awesome having them, but bar none, I think the best one in this entire group is the cold section. And at first, I would say up until about level 20, 21 or so, I just ran with the ones that generated extra essence for me. I noticed it, I wasn't loving it. Then I switched to the ones that can chill and freeze. And let me tell you, this is it, guys. This is the one. This is when you'll start noticing the uptick in how powerful the summoner build slowly starts becoming. Because they can also freeze elite mobs. Yeah, just take this. And as for the Golem, I'm really not sure what's best right now. I just love the Blood Golem, so that's who I picked. That's who I'm sticking with. Good to go. Switching over quickly to my gear, I think this is an actual interesting talking point for you guys, because I'm actually only running with 2 legendaries right now on my character, and one I'm basically not even utilizing, but the one that I did get, yeah, she was a beauty. I showed you guys earlier in the video, and for those of you who have been screaming, why in the heck does he have 5 mages and I only have 3? Well, this is why. So this item is definitely worth looking out for. But as you can tell, outside of this one item, this is more of a skill-based build right now. I haven't even gotten a chance to build much of it because I haven't equipped a lot of legendaries and stuff because I keep switching gear so much. And so my idea for this video was at the end here, I was then going to walk through some of the legendary aspects and stuff that we should go for. What legendary powers do we want to attach to our character? But from levels 1 to 30, that's not something we're really going to be worrying about. If you happen to find a good legendary power, go for it, use it, and adapt your build around it and pick some skills, but that's not the focus. That's not what we're worried about right now. What you should be worrying about is making sure that you have the max amount of minions at all time. You can tell when you're at max because these icons right here will be glowing green. If they're not, you have to summon some more. The reason this is important is because once you have your minions maxed out, if you go to hit summon again, you actually spawn the skeletal priest. This priest will provide a healing buff to all your minions. And then on your skill bar, you will see a yellow status bar that will shrink down. When that shrinks down and it's over, you want to spawn that skeletal priest again to keep this going. It takes a while to learn how to keep this up so that your minions are at their max health most of the time so they're not dying. You'll notice in a lot of the gameplay, I'm not doing a very good job at this yet either. Something else you want to get into the habit of doing is whenever you see an elite or mini boss pop up, throw down Decrepify. It's going to slow them down so you have a little bit longer to react, and if they do happen to have an AoE or long-ranged attack, you're not going to take as much damage from it as long as they're Decrepified. And remember, Decrepify lasts 10 seconds after you spawn it, so you don't have to spam it. And that's it. With this build of the Necromancer, those are the two things that I want you focusing on the most right now. Get those two habits down, and we will touch base again once we have our journey from level 30 to 50. I hope you have an absolute blast with this one. We'll see you soon.